I still remember the day Daddy left. I was only 3 years old, but I can picture it clearly, his old brown suitcase sitting by the front door, the look on Mama's face like someone had died. "Be a good girl, Cindy," he said, patting me on the head. "Where are you going, Daddy?" I asked in a small voice. "I have to go away for a while," he replied sadly. "You be a big girl and take care of your Mama for me." And then he was gone. Mama collapsed in sobs as the door slammed shut. Over the years, Mama tried her best, working long hours as a waitress to support us. But she could never hide her sadness. At night, I would hear her crying in her room. With Daddy gone, we had to move out of our little house into a dingy apartment in a bad part of town. Mama started drinking, leaving me alone for hours while she was out at the bars. By the time I turned 20, Mama had married again to a man named Joseph. I guess she was lonely, but Joseph was no replacement for my father. He leered at me when no one was looking, always finding excuses to brush up against me suggestively. One day I confronted Mama about it. "Why did you leave Daddy all those years ago?" I asked. "I didn't leave your father," Mama replied angrily. "He's the one who left us, ran off with some floozy mistress." "That's not true," I cried. "Daddy loved us. He would never have abandoned us like that." But Mama refused to hear it. In her mind, she was the victim, not the one who had driven Daddy away. So when Joseph suggested I join him on a trip to spend some quality time together, I agreed. As we drove out of town, I batted my eyelashes and asked him to take me somewhere exciting. "Like Vegas?" I said. "Sure, baby," he replied with a twisted grin. "Vegas it is." We got married that night in some cheesy chapel, Joseph slobbering drunk. If Mama knew, she didn't let on when we got back. I guess she was relieved Joseph was my problem now. We left town that week, heading to California to start our new life. It was never much of a marriage. Joseph drank, cheated, and hit me when he felt like it. After 4 years, I'd had enough. "I'm leaving you, Joseph," I said angrily after he stumbled home late one night. "You ain't going nowhere," he slurred. "You're my wife till death do us part." I packed my things anyway and headed back home, back to Mama. But when I got there, our old apartment was empty, the windows boarded up. I asked a neighbor, and she shook her head sadly. "Your Mama passed last year, honey. Just gave up after the betrayal, I guess." "I'm real sorry." I cried myself to sleep that night on the steps of my empty childhood home. My parents were both gone, broken by betrayals. Now I truly was alone.